Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to becoming absolutely unstoppable. Today I want to ask you a question. What keeps you awake at night? Seriously, when you're lying there in bed at night time and you can't drift off to sleep, there is something that you're thinking about, something that just keeps you awake because you're frustrated, you're overworked, you're underpaid, you don't have enough clients, you've got a staff issue, you've got a partner issue, like a business partner issue, something that is going on that is making you say, man, I wish I could get a better outcome for this. Now, we all have those things. We all have those things and they can vary from time to time. Right now, what keeps me awake at night is the struggles that my daughter's going through and how to come up with a solution for that. Sometimes it's work stuff, sometimes it's just the anticipation of the excitement and energy that I've got before I'm going to bed or before I'm drifting off to sleep, thinking about what is that next project that I'm getting stuck into or I've just started. Or like when I was writing my book, it was like that next chapter. I was just hungry to start writing the next day because I just had so much momentum and I wanted to keep going forward. So sometimes that keeps you awake at night too. But right now, what I'm focusing on are those things that really challenge you and are keeping you awake for the wrong reasons. So how do you address those things? Well, today I want to set you with a little challenge. And do it today. Do it within the next 24 hours. I want you to think about what are those things that you've maybe been thinking about over this last night, say a couple of days, within 7 days ago, that have kept you awake because you have been thinking about them. I want you to capture what those points are. Write them on a whiteboard. I find that sometimes when I'm working in front of a whiteboard, it just gets the blood flowing a little bit differently. I'm standing up, I'm writing on the whiteboard, I might walk around for a bit, get a new thought and say, bang, yes, that's it, and capture that up there as well. I'm very big on writing bullet points rather than trying to write sentences and stuff. So then you can, if you can capture the essence in a bullet point, then you don't need all the filling words. So I want you to write down, what are those things that are keeping you awake at night? Because a lot of the time, what we tend to do is just keep on having restless nights because we keep thinking about these things, but don't actually do anything. We don't take any steps to resolve it. So this exercise obviously works with other things too, but I'm using this as a prompt. What's keeping you awake at night? Capture all the different points down on the whiteboard as to what it is. And it's going to be more than one thing. It's going to be other things. And I want you to then dig a little bit deeper and say, okay, so what is it about that that's keeping you awake? What is the challenge within that? Write them all down. Again, just bullet point them. What are those key things that are keeping you awake? Let's use an example. Say, for instance, it might be that you're feeling really overworked right now. So what's keeping you awake is the fact that you're thinking about all the work that you're getting up to tomorrow, whether they be a whole bunch of coaching sessions, whether they be coaching sessions plus admin plus kids plus, all these different things that you have to do and you don't know how you're going to get them in because you're also fatigued. You're feeling really tired, you're starting to feel unmotivated, you're starting to feel like, man, I'm getting burnt out here and I'm not growing the business in the way that I would want. So you can see that there's a whole bunch of different things that I've just mentioned in there that you need to pull out. So what's keeping you awake could be, I'm just overwhelmed by the volume of work. So then under that, start to pull out. What are those key things that really are contributing to that? And it could be, well, maybe you're under-resourced. Maybe you need to book a holiday in somewhere. You haven't had a holiday for a long time. You need to schedule something in. Maybe it's a workflow issue. Maybe it's a prioritization issue. Maybe it's a scheduling issue. You're not scheduling everything in. Maybe you're not scheduling enough breaks between coaching sessions or whatever it is that your work is where you can get these other things done. Maybe you're just not scheduling those things in and then you're feeling overwhelmed because you're going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But what you should be doing is also saying no to certain things so that you can have that, whether it be rest or whether it be just give you some mind space to do these other things that you need to get done. Capture all the different points. Maybe there's something in there about thinking about some of those other things that you need to get done that you can outsource. Maybe you can delegate within your existing team. Maybe you can delegate to outsource it somewhere. Maybe it's things like some of the domestic chores around your home or your office that you need to outsource, whether it be cleaning, whether it be cooking, whether it be washing services and stuff for your clothes and that kind of thing. Washing and ironing services. There's plenty of these things available to you. Whatever it is for you, there will be a whole range of things that are contributing to that, what was keeping you awake, which is being the overwhelmed. And break it all down in detail. Because as you can already start to see, as you're capturing each of these points, you can see that some clarity is starting to come. Rather than just thinking, oh, I've got this great big mess in my head, and right now I've got my hands on my head, and say, oh no, it just feels so intense, it feels too much, I can't do it, I've got this and this to do. Well, let's just stop, let's break that, because that's just going to get worse and worse, and you're going to get less and less sleep. Let's break it down and make it into some actionable items. For instance, out of all the ones that I just said there, maybe what you need to do first is you just need to have a break. Maybe you just need to have 5 days off. Maybe it's 2 days off. Maybe it's 2 weeks off. Maybe you just need to have a break because you feel so overwhelmed right now and so overworked that you're just fatigued. And each day is just more and more fatiguing. So you just need to have a break. So maybe that is your number one priority. So you say, okay, let's do that because that'll be fun. Take someone with you, go by yourself, whatever your situation is, just get that done. And then, while you're on holidays, you start to unwind, relax. I'm sure if you're a business operator like me, then you're going to be certainly thinking about what it is that you're going to be doing when you come back, maybe getting more excited about that, but you're just taking some time out to just recharge your batteries, and that's super, super important. So, maybe that's one of the things. But my point is, you go through each one and you turn it into an actionable item. And then you prioritize it. Like I just said then, maybe the first thing that you need to do is you just need to have a break. You're so burnt out, you're starting to get unwell, you're picking up some illnesses, your immune system is taking a hit, you're not looking after yourself as much as you normally would because you're just fried. So maybe that's your number one priority. Maybe it's not. Maybe your number one priority is that you need to get some extra resourcing in first, because before you can go away on holiday and relax, you need to make sure you've got those resources in place. Maybe that's something that you need to do. So get all your points down and then prioritize them. Put them in order of what you need to do first. And then you need to shift all that information, I would suggest, over into something electronic, whether it be Word, whether it be Excel, whatever it is, the tools that you're using, so you can shift things around. I put mine in Word in a table, and I create like a strategy document for myself, and I describe what it is. I number the points. I put in who's responsible for it, and a date, and then so a date for completion. So then you're starting to really create some solid structure around solving this problem, this challenge that you're going through at the moment. Because until you start to take those actionable steps, you're just going to feel completely overwhelmed and it's just going to get worse and worse. So I prioritize them. I then go through and work out who's responsible for everything. And this is where you have to be strong and not say, okay, well, all of these things are for me. You need to challenge yourself and say, okay, well, actually, yes, I've always done that, but I'm going to delegate that to Carol. I'm going to delegate this one to John, or I'm going to find some extra resourcing, whether it be a full-time person, whether it be a part-time person, whether you're just outsourcing to a contractor. Like I use Upwork, sometimes I use Fiverr, but normally I use Upwork. But those types of services where you can just get things done by a specialist for a particular job. Scheduling those things in, putting time frames on them is really important, because you can just make it, the end of the year or the end of a month or something like that, but put some specific dates. Don't make it the end of a month. Make it, say, the 27th of May. Don't make it the 31st of May. Pick dates that are going to drive you. Make them realistic, but also make them so that they do challenge you to step up and get these things done quicker, because it will just relieve your tension. And if getting that resourcing and doing those sorts of things is one of those things you need to get done before you can go and have a break, then that should incentivize you to get it done faster. So you've got the idea. Get it all down on paper, and then I like the electronic, well, I say paper, but electronic paper. I like the electronic form because there will always be a need to reorder things. I always do. I think, oh, that's a priority, but then I come across something. I think, actually, no, before I do that, I need to, do this one, so let me shift that up, and I've allocated it to myself, but it really needs to go to this person. I just need to teach them how to do it. Yes, it's going to take me a bit longer to start with, but long term, I'm going to benefit from that. And I've got many examples of the team that I work with at the moment internationally, where it's taken me some time to train them to do something, but now I don't even think about it. It just gets done for me, and it's really cool. And I give you another tip here when you're working with the team. So what I've got is an international team, and I've got some in the US, I've got some in Nepal, some have been in Indonesia in the past, but they're kind of all over the place. But the main team that I work with is based in Nepal. And what I did with him was I needed some help with some podcasts to start with. And then, so I tested him out on a couple of things, seemed to be genuine, because obviously you don't actually meet these people, even though I'd had like Zoom calls and that kind of stuff, which is, I would always encourage you to do that so that you can see the person. You can see the way that they present, check out their English, all that kind of stuff. And from there, he did a really great job with that, like an outstanding job. Taught me a bunch of things, saved me the cost of of his services. He saved for me in like 15 minutes, because he just showed me a couple of things, how to do things with my podcast and uploading and all that kind of stuff. It's like, man, really? I didn't know I could do that. I wish I contacted you earlier. And then from there, I asked him about what are some of the other services that he provides. And then from there, I sort of just trickle-feeded through some small jobs and see how he went on those. And some he did really well, and some he didn't. But I would keep trying. So now what I do is, he's my first point of call. I've given him a whole range of different jobs, from building websites to doing my podcast to doing social media management, etc. And I always try with a little bit, ask him and say, look, are you staffed up to do this? Because he's putting on more and more staff all the time. And he'll either say, no, look, I'm not, or yes, I am. And there's only been a couple of instances where he said, yes, I am. I've tried him. It's been a disaster. And that's, obviously not a strength of his or his team yet. And I've had to say, look, I want to keep doing these other things with you, but look, this just isn't working. And you've got to have the courage to say that, because you can get into that habit of just continuing to do something for the sake of doing it, but it just wasn't working. So you've got to find that right person for you to work with so that you can get the outcomes that you want. And my suggestion is then be loyal to that person, give them as much work as you can, and you'll find that builds the relationship. So the benefit for that for me now is that if I have a problem in another area, for instance, I can say to him, look, I'm having some trouble here. Can you take a look for me? And then rather than have to go in and set up a contract and go and do all these different things and then, accept different proposals and stuff, which takes time, I just go to him. He takes a look. He tells me how much time it is. I say, look, just add that time to, whatever. Maybe I'll give him a bonus or whatever if he did a job for me just recently that I didn't think would be that long. And it ended up taking him like 6 hours because it was quite technical and required a bit of tidy up. So I said to him, look, he wasn't intending to charge me for it. And I said, look, just just charge me an extra 5 hours or whatever. I said, I'm okay with that because you looked after me. And then, it's a bit of give and take. You just create a better relationship with that person. I think that helps you in the long term. But all of this works in conjunction with you getting a better night's sleep. Because if that can be one thing that helps you to stop staying awake at night, then it's been a victory. Now, if you want to connect with me, you can. Go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for a free consultation, and whether it's business, whether it's life stuff, whether it's your health, fitness, whether it's your mindset, or whether it is your body that you want to get absolutely cranking hot for 2021, just opt in for the consultation and we will have a conversation and we'll work out where to go to from there. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you tomorrow.